Hello students, today we are going to read a chapter from our supplementary reader Moments. The name of the chapter is In the Kingdom of Fools and the author is A.K. Ramanujan. Before starting the chapter, let's read about the kingdom, what is the story about. It is the story of a kingdom where the king and the minister both were very foolish, and they had ordered that night to be treated as day, and all people should work after dark. They should go to bed as soon as the sun came up. King's orders were followed by the people by fear of death. So it was about a kingdom where the king was a foolish and his ministers were also very foolish, and they king ordered that the night should be treated as day and the day should be treated as night. So all the people used to sleep during the day and they used to work in the night, in the dark. Now before reading the chapter, we'll read about the characters. Now in this chapter, there is the king, his ministers, then there is a saint and his disciple. Now the disciple was a food freak. He loved eating food, and when he went to this kingdom, which was a kingdom of fools, there everything was in just one anna, and so he was tempted with the food with such a low price. So he said that I am going to stay in that kingdom itself. Now the character of the guru. The guru was very wise. He knew that the behavior of fools is unpredictable. He advised the disciple not to stay there, but the disciple did not realize the danger. Now Guru was very clever, he was very intelligent. He said, see, this is the kingdom of fools, and here you never know what decisions these fools can take. So it's not safe to stay here. So it's better that we move from here. But the disciple said, no, I am getting everything. I love to eat food, and here food is very cheap, so I will be staying here. If you want to go, you can go. But I will be staying here. Now, where the trouble starts in the story, what happens mainly is that this king, in this kingdom, there was a thief, and he broke into a merchant's house. Now, when this thief broke into the merchant's house, the wall collapsed and the thief dies. So, when the thief went into the merchant house to steal, and when he was returning, suddenly what happened? The wall collapsed on him and the thief died. Now the thief's brother, he was very smart, and he blamed the merchant for his brother's death. He said that this merchant is responsible for my brother's death and I want him to be punished. So the king summons the merchant. So when this thief's brother, he went to the king and he said, see, this is all happened, that my brother went into a merchant's house and the wall of the merchant's house fall on him and my brother died. So now the king should be punished. The merchant should be punished. So the king asked the merchant, the king summoned the merchant and called the merchant in the court. Now the trial, now in the court what happens is, the merchant says it is the fault of the bricklayer. Now the merchant says, no, please, you cannot blame me for the death of the thief. It is the bricklayer should be blamed, because he was the person who was mending the wall. So the main culprit is the bricklayer, because he constructed the wall and he made it in such a not that strong that it fall down on the thief. So I am not to be blamed. The bricklayer should be blamed. Now the bricklayer holds the dancing girl responsible. So now the bricklayer was called. So the merchant told about the bricklayer. So the bricklayer was called. So the bricklayer said, okay, no, this is not my fault. I am not responsible for this wall. Actually, the dancing girl was responsible for this wall. So, how come? So, he said, this bricklayer said that when I was constructing the wall, this dancing girl was going and coming, so to and fro she was doing, and because of the sound of the jingle of her anklets, I was getting disturbed. So I am not to be blamed. That dancing girl, that lady should be blamed, because the jingle of her anklets were distracting my mind, and because of that the wall could not be constructed properly. Now the king summoned the dancing girl. Now the dancing girl came, and then she was told by the king that you are responsible for the death of the thief, because this bricklayer is telling that you were going again and again from that road, and because of the jingle of your anklets he was getting disturbed, and so he could not construct the wall properly. Now the dancing girl said, no, this is wrong. I am not to be blamed. Then the king said, then who should be blamed? So she said, there is a reason why I was going again and again. The reason was that the goldsmith, I had ordered some jewelry I had ordered some jewelry to the goldsmith, and the goldsmith had not prepared it, and again he was giving me time, ke come this day, come that day, and I had to take continuous rounds to the goldsmith's shop, and that is the reason that I was going again and again from that way when the bricklayer was constructing the wall. So I am not responsible. The goldsmith is responsible for the death of the thief. Now the king said, okay, fine. The goldsmith was summoned. The goldsmith was called. Now the goldsmith in turn accuses the rich merchant. The goldsmith said, see, I am not responsible for this. This rich merchant was responsible for this. So he said, how come? This rich merchant is the person who did not give my products, and so I was not able to prepare her jewelry, and so I was not able to give it to the girl, and because of that I was calling her again and again, and when she was coming the bricklayer got distracted. So I am not responsible. The rich merchant is responsible for the thief's death. Now the merchant, so he said, okay, fine, then who's that merchant? So you know, children, who was that merchant? The merchant was none other than the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Now who was that merchant? That merchant was that same person in whose house the thief had entered. So the original owner of the house was the merchant whose wall had fallen. So the goldsmith blamed the merchant. He said, I am not responsible. That merchant is responsible. Now a unique trial happened. Now after that, what happened? That when all this process was going on, a very strange thing happened. Now what was strange in that? A thief broke into a rich merchant's house, and while he was running away with the money, the wall of the house collapsed and killed the thief. Now the thief's brother blamed the rich merchant for his death. Now the merchant blamed the bricklayer who built a weak wall. Now he held the dancing girl responsible for distracting him. The dancing girl blamed the goldsmith who did not make her ornaments in time, but he pleaded that her rich man pressed him to make ornaments early for a family wedding. Now what the goldsmith said? Goldsmith said, see, I am not responsible. The rich merchant is responsible because he was pressurizing me to make his ornaments before, and he has a family wedding, and so his ornaments were to be made earlier, so I had to delay this dancing girl's ornaments, and so I could not give her ornaments because I had to give the rich merchant's ornament. So I am not responsible. I am not to be blamed. The rich merchant is to be blamed. Now this merchant was the father of the owner of the house. Now who was this merchant? This merchant was the owner of that house. Okay, father of the owner of the house whose wall had been collapsed. Now see, the earth is round. Again, the means of a whole system came back again to the merchant. Now what happened? The lady, she blamed the goldsmith who did not make her ornaments, but he pleaded that a rich merchant pressed him to make ornament early for a family wedding. Now this merchant was the father of the owner of the house. Now the king ruled that the rich merchant was the real culprit, and the rich merchant was ordered to be executed. The rich merchant was ordered. He said, no, now call that rich merchant. But the merchant was too thin to fit the stake. So now what happened? The king said, okay, fine. The real culprit is who? The rich merchant. So that rich merchant should be called. Now the rich merchant was the father of the owner of the house. So the owner of the house said that he is dead. But my father is dead. So बोले कि okay, fine, but we want someone as a culprit. So if your father is dead, you have to come. So the merchant was called, and when the merchant was summoned, he was too thin to fit the stake. Now the stake was made for the culprit to be killed. Now when this merchant was called, what happened? He was too thin to fit on the stake. So the disciple, so they said, okay, no, he is not able to fit in the stake. So go and search a man who's fat enough to be fitted in the stake. Now the merchant was saved because he was thin. So what happened? That he did not, the king ordered, okay, fine, go and search for a man who is very fat and who can be fitted in the stake. Now the disciple was found fit for the stake. Now what happened? This guru and disciple, if you remember, the disciple was in a very comfortable zone, eating so much, eating lot of food, and whole day eating because the food was very cheap. So what happened was that he became very fat. And when the guards and all, when the courtiers, the guards, when they were searching for a man who could fit on the stake, they saw this disciple that, oh yes, this person can easily fit for the stake. Now what happened? This disciple was called and he was to be killed at the stake. Now this was the kingdom of fools. Anything can happen. That was a kingdom of fools, and anyone can take any decision. The king could take any decision. So they came, and then what happened? That they said, okay, now this disciple is the perfect person to be killed in the stake. Now the disciple got very, very worried and tensed and was very sad, and he just closed his eyes and he remembered his guru. And he remembered his guru, that my guru should come to save me. Now the judgment. Now justice had a full circle, thought the king. Now the king thought that, okay, now the justice is over. It has taken the full circle. From merchant it started, and again it returned to merchant. So the merchant should be executed. So a new stake was prepared, but the merchant was too thin and the stake was too big for the merchant. So they searched for a fat man, and this disciple was the fat man. Now they said, okay, now as the merchant is thin for the stake, so what should be done? We should find any other alternative. So the king orders that go and find a fat man to fit in the stake. Now this disciple, who had grown very fat, eating rice and ghee and sweets, for one dudu. One dudu was just a currency, okay? It was a currency. So he said, so in that kingdom of fools, everything was for one dudu. Whether you take gold, that also one dudu. You take food, that also one dudu. Whatever you take, that is only of one dudu. So now this disciple was very happy because he was fond of food. So every day in one dudu he was eating rice, ghee and sweets, and became a fat young man. So What happened was that when he was taken by the guards, he remembered his guru's words. Okay, see, it's not safe to stay here because it is a kingdom of fools. And fools, okay, in the kingdom of fools, anything can happen anytime. Fools can take any decision. So you should not stay here, but he stayed on his own risk, and now his guru's words had proved to be right. Now the disciple remembered his guru who appeared at once. And when he remembered his guru, now guru had the powers. Okay, he had some magical powers, some special powers. And because of that, what happened? The disciple, just when he remembered his guru, the guru appeared at once. They started fighting. Each wanted to be executed first. Now Guru understood. Guru understood the situation because he was a very wise person. He was a very clever person, and he knew that what situation could have taken place. And so he understood the situation, and then he told something in the ear of the disciple. Now the disciple and what happened? Both of them, they started fighting. Who? The guru and the disciple. The guru and the disciple, both of them, they started fighting, and each wanted to be executed first. And both of them, the disciple said, "No, first I will die." The guru said, "No, first I will die." And both of them started fighting. Said, "No, no, 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 first I will die." He said, "No, first I will die." Now the king got shocked. Hey, what is this? Okay, they are fighting to die first. So there must be some reason. So the guru said, the king asked the guru, "Come here." "Yes, guru, you come here. Now you tell me why you are fighting. Should anyone fight for dying first?" So the guru explained to the king, whoever died to the stake first would be reborn as the king of the country. Now the guru explained to the king. Guru said, Guru went to the king and he told the king that, "See, you don't know the cause behind it. I know everything. I am the guru. I have powers and I know everything." So he said, "What happened?" So he said, the guru explained to the king that whoever died to the stake first would be reborn as the king of the country. So he said that whoever will die to the stake first would be reborn as the king of the country. That the person who will die first will become the king, and whoever die next would be reborn as the minister, and who will be the second person to die will become the minister. Now the king and the minister, they consulted. "Oh my God, this is the thing. Okay, that is why they are fighting." So the king and the minister, they consulted and they decided to take their place. So they said, okay, fine. Now you don't worry. The king and the minister were executed next morning. So what happened? They planned, and the king told the minister, "See, you kill me first, okay, and then you kill yourself, because in the next birth also I will become king and you will become the minister." So both of them, they decided that we should be killing each other. Now the guru and disciple were the new king and minister. Now what happened? The king and the minister, both of them, they killed each other. And now what happened? There was a rule in that kingdom that there should be someone to rule the country. So when they saw in the morning, when the people saw there were two dead bodies, one was of the king and the another one was of the minister, they said, oh, now what will happen? We cannot survive without the king. We need to have one king and minister. So people understood everything. People said, no, we need to find out a good king who could rule, otherwise we will become orphans. We should have a king and a minister. So the king and the minister were executed. The guru and the disciple were their new king and minister, and so they decided that they are wise people. So the guru was made the king and the disciple was made the minister, and both of them, they changed all the old ways. Okay, now the day was termed as day and night was termed as night. People would work in the daytime and sleep in the night, and all the things which were followed earlier, they were all changed. And everything which was sold in one dudu were now sold according to their original prices. So here what we learn is that we through your clever decisions and through your wisdom, you can change the situation. Now the climax. The Guru comes to the disciples' rescue. Both of them pretended to want to die on the stake. Now what happened was that the Guru, when the disciple remembered Guru, the Guru came on his own, and both of them pretended to want to die. Now both of them said, no, I want to die, I want to die. They were actually pretending, they were fighting that I want to die. So the king was surprised that who would fight to die first. So that means there must be something, some trick or something must be there. So the king and the minister, they said, no, if it is so that in the next birth the person who will die first will become the king and the person who dies second will become the minister, so we will decide to die. And the people finally get rid of the foolish king and his minister, and finally the people, got rid of the foolish king and his minister, and they got a very wise, intelligent and clever king along with his minister. So hope so understood, children, you understood the chapter, that how the king, the Guru with his wisdom changed the situation and changed the whole kingdom and the situation in the kingdom. So the kingdom of fools, where everything went wrong, was changed due to the decision of the wisdom of the Guru. Hope you understood the chapter. Thank you.